So Alex sounds like a good sergeant. Put him in the back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Alex, sergeant.
That means you stay in the back.
Nice to meet you.
Woo! If you're late, he's gonna do this, okay? And the minute I see Alex, it means everybody's here and we can start talking. Okay? Good? Alex is the sergeant.
You better obey.
Yes.
People.
He's very mean in the morning.
This country where Jesus, where our Savior walked, and where He did ministry and He did miracles and visits, He turned to. And sometimes we feel as though God has left us. Sometimes we feel like we're just left alone to fend for ourselves, wondering where He is, why things aren't going very well. In the end, maybe we think that He stopped caring about us. So obviously the death of their leader, the loss of the ark, the people are in fear, they're in mourning. And while God was allowing His people to suffer so that they would recognize to do things His way and that they needed Him, He was not going to be a God that would allow His name to be sullied by these Philistines, by these pagans that had taken the ark of God.
Come thou fount of every blessing, to my heart to sing thy grace, streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I fixed upon it, mount of thy redeeming love.
I know maybe for North America this is not a forest. For Israelis this is forest. Why? Because 60% of Israel is desert. You see a few trees, it's a forest. Why here? Good question, huh? Why not Michigan? Come on. Yeah, because it's freezing there. Okay? So people did not live in Michigan 3,000 years ago because the weather was not reasonable for human beings. People did not live in a place that was freezing, and they did not live in very hot places in the middle of the desert. So most of the civilizations in ancient times preferred moderate climate, and they preferred a place where there is an international trade. That represents death. And then you need to go back to what represents life. You need to go through water. Okay? So, can I go to the Sea of Galilee?
Yes.
Yes. Can I go to the ocean?
Yes.
Yes. Can I go to the Dead Sea? No.
No.
It represents scribes, very good, because this was their profession.
The cemetery.
And women, very good. Why women? Because every time that a woman had her period and she had blood, and it means that represents that she did not bring life to this world. So she needs to go back after her period to go to a mikveh, and now she can go back to what brings life to this world. So in many ways, mikveh was very important, still today, by the way, in a Jewish life. Because olive oil was the most important product of this land in the time of Jesus. I know it sounds strange when I'm saying that, but Italians used to take olive oil from Israelis 2,000 years ago. Or let's say it, Romans took olive oil from Israel 2,000 years ago from here.
Easier, you come back to you.
Where are we now? The Mediterranean is over there. Do you see that? On a clear day.
Not exactly.
You see LA. Then we are in the Shephelah. And we are here in this valley. And this is the valley. It goes like this in a kind of zigzag serpentine path. It's called the Valley of Ellah. E-double-L-A-H. What happened here in the time of peace? The valley is used for agriculture. Okay? What happened in the time of international trade? The valley is used as a road. What happened in the time of war? That's a battleground. It became known as a battlefield only once, but maybe a famous one, when a guy from Gath came. His name was Goliath, and a guy came from over there, from Bethlehem, and his name was David. Ready? Go.
Now the Philistines gathered their forces for war and assembled at Soko in Judah. They pitched camp at Ephes Damim between Soko and Azekah.
This is Azekah. Where is Soko? In Judah. They did not even had enough from the land of the Philistines on the coast. They also took the land of the Danites, and now they're coming to Judah. So take a look at that. You see two antennas and a building and a gas station over there? And then if you go over there, this is a town called Soko. Do you see over there, another hill? So they are camping, take a look at that, from here all the way, imagine the forest, all the way from here along the way to Soko. In a place, the valley is called Ephes Damim. You should ask yourself, what does it mean?
What does it mean?
Good question, by the way. Zero blood. Why do they call this place Zero Blood? Because when they are preparing you the story, I always say, when the author wants to tell the story of David and Goliath, he put on the set all the important details. And the details is that in this valley, zero blood. It means there was no battle here ever. Zero blood. Ephes Damim. So, what is a cubit? Do we really know? Yeah. So some people say an arm. No? Yeah, like this. Okay. Is my arm? It's very typical to the size of arms 3,000 years ago. No. Based on skeletons and bones that we found, the average height at that time was 5 feet. Yes, average person. Very tall one. Okay? Giants. Goliath. Do we understand? We are looking at it, and I read all the time interpretations. He was 9 feet. Most of the websites and books will tell you that Goliath was 9 feet. Okay? we tend to exaggerate to understand better the story. But if you look at the standards of what was the height of human beings, they were not tall like you. I was a tall person at that time, and the average was more or less like this. Okay, so just to say that we don't know what does it mean exactly 6 cubits in a span. I don't know what it is. Okay, go ahead.
He had a bronze helmet on his head and wore a coat of scale armor of bronze weighing 5,000 shekels. On his legs he wore bronze greaves, and a bronze javelin was slung on his back. His spear shaft was like the weaver's rod, and its iron point weighed 600 shekels. His shield bearer went ahead of him.
By the way, that's the longest description of anyone in the Bible. Isn't that strange? And again, it's like almost like the author is trying to tell you how big he is and what he has. When we say shekels, people sound, especially Israeli kids, say, "Oh, shekel, you mean our coin?" No, there was no currency at that time. There was no money. The word shekel that we use for money, Israeli shekels today, the word shekel comes from the word weight. The weight of silver, the weight of bronze, the weight of... Okay? That's why the cities of the Philistines was called Ashkelon. That comes from the word, this city was there's a lot of money, there's a lot of weight. What was the advantage of the Philistines?
Chariots.
Chariots, iron, bronze, silver, gold. They were experts in metal. What the Israelites were good at?
Woodwork.
Shepherds.
Olives.
Do we understand? Alexander the Great conquered the land and brought with him the Greek culture. How did Greek call their country? They don't call it Greek. Hellas. So they bring the Hellenistic culture. And now you bring a different world and different attitude. So instead of building the city on the tail, you just dig caves all around this place and you build a different city. So you also invite people from all around the world to come to live in this area. So the place Mareshah was changed completely in the time of the Greco-Roman world. So where we're going now is a business under the ground. Let me show you what we found. Was to collect the manure of those birds, and why pigeons was a big business in ancient times, because they are kosher animals, and Jewish people can eat them, because they were used for sacrifice in the temple, because their manure was used for fertilizer, okay, and because they were also used in art. By the way, pigeons and dogs are the same animal